there's going to be periods where you just can't find your footing. You can't find your groove. And the best thing you can do as a developing student is, as soon as you figure that out is the case right then and there, remove risk. Even if you're in a trade, just remove it, close it. But Michael, what happens if I would have held on to the trade? Who cares? Because again, we're going back to that same problem. You're assuming your entire career is encapsulated in that one trade. That's not disciplined. That's not disciplined approach to yourself, reasonable expectations, and you're focusing on money, the right transaction where you're correct versus, are you doing the right things to preserve equity and emotional psychological equity where you're not stressing yourself out unnecessarily. And you can do that being in a trade while fatigued, or you just feel off, like you don't have the confidence. And that's not the same thing as new developing traders forging patience, because that's normal. You're going to feel that. But if you found your model and you're pretty much consistent on finding setups, you'll have a little bit of drawdown. You don't freak out. You come back from it. You're not in a rush to get it back, and you still find consistency. I'm talking to that crowd right now when I'm saying this. If you ever get to that point where you get into the market and you have a position on and you just don't feel connected, you will not be able to respond as you should when the warning signs are flashing. You'll be like a deer in headlights, and it'll just roll right over top of you. And after you're out, you'll have complete 2020 perspective, and you'll think, oh, I wish I would have, but it's too late then. Versus you get out, it does move in your favor. It's okay because you removed yourself from that potential because you don't know the outcome. That's the problem when you have something move after the fact. When something happens after it's done, the hyenas will come and laugh and cackle, and they'll think they have something. And when the lion stands up and rips their ass apart publicly and sends them packing, they're not around laughing anymore. So you have to control how much the hyenas can have access to. And in the market, they'll take your ass off completely if you're not in control of yourself, if you don't manage the risk. And the only way you can do that is be disciplined. There's nothing wrong. There's no weakness. It doesn't mean you're not a good trader. If you feel and you acknowledge that you're not dialed in, that means you're not focused. You can't focus. You have things tugging at you. Your attention's elsewhere. You don't feel well. You're just fatigued. You're tired. You just don't feel like you're hitting on all the cylinders that you would normally expect yourself to be doing when you're trading. They're all invitations, as far as I'm concerned, for you to say, you know what, I'm just going to disconnect. I'm going to come back either today or in a few days. I'll take a week off, recuperate, rest. The markets repeat over and over and over again. I've been going daily with you all on Twitter to some degree or another, and it's pretty consistent. Where I'm pointing, the market generally goes there. Some of you would look at that and say, well, that's not good enough. I want to be told when to get in, get out. Well, you need to go somewhere else, because I'm not promising you that. I'm promising you, I'm going to teach you how to reprice, but you have to submit to a lot of things. And it's not have it your way mentorship here. I'm not running Burger King. So if you want to have your way of doing it, then go buy a whole bunch of books, a whole bunch of courses, subscribe to everybody on YouTube that runs a course and sells things, and then cherry pick what you think works through trial and error, and then see who does better. Because if you're with somebody that has spent enough time to know what it's likely to do, lost lots of money, learned the lessons from that, how to teach other people how to do it, you want to be under the wing of someone like that, because they generally will help steer you away from the problem areas that they themselves encountered. It doesn't mean they're going to completely make your development free of all kinds of dangers and perils, because you're going to bring that to the table in your own personality. There's character flaws that all of us have.